FunReviews here, and today I'll be reviewing Doctor Who The Adventure Games Episode 5 or Season 2 Episode 1, The Gunpowder Plot. So, let's not waste any time, let's jump right into the story. So, the story starts off with the Doctor working on the TARDIS in the Loud Dynasty, when the Doctor and Amy start knocking on the door because they're being attacked by the locals for breaking into a palace. Don't know why they did that, but a spear goes through the Doctor's record player. Don't you know, Doctor, you never leave your doors open? Sorry, I just got a bit fanboy there. But a spear goes right through his record player, so he takes his hand off the console. Oh god, that's a recipe for disaster. He takes his hand off the console to work on his record player. Then they crash into a ship. I knew that was a recipe for disaster. Doctor, didn't you pass your TARDIS driving test? Oh, wait a minute. No, he didn't. He stole it. Oh. I feel a bit silly now. Anyway, he's an idiot.
Almost looks like a sort of gun.
So, the Doctor crashed into a ship, which then crashes into London, 1605. Which, for those of you who don't know, is the historical Gunpowder Plot. Which, if you don't know about the Gunpowder Plot, where have you been living under a rock? Obviously, because anyone that knows anything about history knows the Gunpowder Plot. You celebrate it every year on November the 5th. Which, those of you who are more modern and don't care about history, you will know as Bonfire Night. But, that's enough about that. Let's move on to continue the story. So, turns out the ship the Doctor hit was a Rutan ship, which are these glowing green, shape-shifting, electrocuting jellyfish, which are also at war with the most warlike race in the universe, the Sontarans. I'm surprised they've not been completely eradicated, but, yeah, lucky them.
Say hello to
but the Sontarans also go to 1605 London in order to retrieve a doomsday weapon that the Rutans have developed to put a stop to the Sontarans. And it's up to the Doctor, Amy and Rory, as well as their new friend Charlie, Barnacle, and a whole host of new characters in London in 1605 to help stop the Rutans and the Sontarans before they start a war and potentially alter Earth's history. But let's move on to the presentation. The Gunpowder Plot looks stunning. Unlike the rest of the adventure games, which you can select them at will, the Doctor Who Adventure Game Episode 5 Gunpowder Plot is on its own separate engine, which means it runs completely different to the other games, which means they've up-resed all the environments and made it look beautiful. You can explore the TARDIS in a secret Easter egg, all the models and textures look stunning, you can see each individual detail on every character, from the sonic screwdriver to the TARDIS, to Rory, to Amy and the Doctor himself. But also there's an overworld now, which looks beautiful. They've got all the iconic locations that you'll know if you're a London tourist. You've got Tower Bridge, the slums beneath London in 1605, as well as the Parliament Gardens, which you can all explore at will and play integral points in the story, as well as visiting the sewers beneath London multiple times. But now, let's move on to the gameplay. The gameplay for the Gunpowder Plot is sublime. It's like all the other games, except this time they've almost completely got rid of the minigames, except for a few spots where they're important. No more forcing minigames in when they weren't needed. But also, there's a new Time Legion minigame, which I've not explained the Time Legions. When the Rutan ship crashed with the TARDIS, it created temporal legions because of the TARDIS's Artron energy, which, for those of you that aren't Doctor Who fans, is the power source of the TARDIS. It produces Artron energy wherever it lands. So these temporal rifts have opened up all across London, and the Doctor has to go around closing them before anyone accidentally falls through and ends up in a sun or something. Or on Skaro. That wouldn't be fun.
Now let's see.
So, the gameplay's relatively the same. You walk around the overworld doing minigames, doing tasks, defeating Sontarans and Rutans in creative ways, whilst also wandering around and exploring the beautiful world that the BBC have created. But now, let's move on to the final level. So, you've done it. You've sifted your way through the sewers. You've fought countless Sontarans and Rootons. You've been on the Rooton ship. You've helped Charlie and Barnacle. It's time to take on the Rootons. One of the Rootons has asked for your help in retrieving some rods so her ship can fly. But there's a problem. The ship crashed under Parliament. So, unfortunately, the Rootons are now instigating the Gunpowder plot so they can blow up Parliament and rise up. But the Doctor teleports Parliament into space with an orbitary field. So, they can move around freely, but the Sontarans and Rootons have other ideas. They start a war inside Parliament, and the Doctor has both Doomsday devices and has rendered them inoperable, so he can tell the Sontarans and Rootons that he's rigged them to destroy both species. He then jumbles them up, and then throws them to one, but neither of them work, so both leave. And then the Doctor says goodbye to his new friend Guido, otherwise known as Guy Fawkes, before stepping into the TARDIS for a new adventure, presumably to start Series 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and a whole infinite amount of new Doctor Who series. But that's all for this episode of Fun Reviews. If you enjoyed it, tell me, and I'll see you guys on the next Fun Reviews. Bye! Oh no, not again! Oh, not again. Another time corridor. Well, let's see where I go this time. Oh!